While Iran plots mass attacks against the West, while their operatives may already be inside of the United States, ready to strike at any moment, Governor Gavin Newsom wants you to believe that you are the problem because you drive a gas-powered car. Yeah, let that sink in, guys. Not the terrorist proxies, not the open border policy that actually let them just walk across the border, not the foreign threats that are openly chanting death to America, but you. The hardworking American, the truck driver, the single mom, the firefighter, the Uber driver, the guy who's just commuting to work to feed his kids. Now, apparently, you're the one that's fueling the destruction in California with your tailpipe. This isn't just stupidity, guys. This is a dangerous distraction. Please do not fall for this. Let me know if you understand that this is a distraction when you see it. If you do, let me know, guys, because while we are being scolded out here about climate responsibility, according to Gavin Newsom, Iran is building kill teams. And our enemies, they're using that chaos to borrow or essentially kind of burrow in undetected. So today, in today's report, we're going to expose exactly how Iran's proxy war is already inside American borders and how Americans and essentially California leadership has left us wide open, not just for foreign plots, but to full-scale betrayal, guys. Now, I hope you guys are prepared and ready for the worst, but I want to break down the real reason that Gavin Newsom just launched this EV war during wildfire season, what the experts are now saying about sleeper cells inside the United States cities, and why President Trump's latest move to kill California's radical mandates may have very well been more of a national security victory than anyone even realized. Oh, and of course, I'm going to warn you guys, if you thought that the October 7th attacks in Israel were shocking, what we reveal in today's video may hit even closer to home. So stay locked in, guys, because the deeper we go, the more, unfortunately, this story unravels. And trust me, you're going to want to see what comes next. So I want to ask you something. While you were essentially, going about your daily life, working, trying to survive this economy, what if I told you that the next major attack on U.S. soil might already be in motion right now from inside our country, guys? Now, this is not fear-mongering. Please don't say that. This isn't sci-fi. This is straight from the mouth of a former Navy SEAL and FBI special agent by the name of Jonathan Gilliam. And what he's warning should send chills right down every American spine. Shout out to all my patriots out here. And we're getting warnings from multiple cities. Let me know what city you're watching this from, guys, because according to Gilliam and confirmed by multiple intel sources, Iran is not just rattling sabers in the Middle East. Guys, they've already shifted gears into full-blown covert warfare. Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, you've heard the names already. Iran funds them. They train them. They unleash them, guys. And while Israel fights face-to-face, America isn't just fighting abroad. We may actually be fighting from within. That's right, guys. Iran's new tactic isn't direct confrontations. It's infiltration. Okay. And the scary part, they've gotten pretty freaking good at it. I mean, they've studied the chaos in the Ukraine. They've watched the propaganda games from China, and now they're weaponizing social media. They're hiding behind operatives in plain sight. And worst of all, they've embedded sleeper cells inside the U.S. and allied nations like Israel. Does anybody here trust TikTok? Well, operatives can strike from within when the time is right. Now think about that, guys. Not a war on foreign soil, not an attack that starts with sirens or fighter jets. We're talking about something that's far worse. A coordinated wave of chaos triggered from within our own borders. Soft targets, transportation hubs, energy grids, malls, untraceable, unstoppable. And I'm hearing more and more people saying they don't even like going into the malls anymore. And now here's the kicker, guys. Iran already tested this scenario. According to intel insiders, a recent strike by Israel revealed just how weak Iran's own defenses really are. Their missile systems, outdated, disorganized. So if they hit Israel from the sky, they'll probably try to hit us from within. This is classic asymmetrical warfare. And guess what, guys? The groundwork may have already been laid. Every day you delay could mean more money slipping away. Get this, guys. Jamie from Texas, she took the leap of faith and now she's saving $600. Nancy, age 78, she said, Chapter just saved me a $600 a year savings. Guys, it might allow me to stay in my home. Hey, this is the kind of stuff I actually love to hear from my YouTube viewers, from the comments, guys. Nancy at age 78 is saving $600 a year, and she's saying that this might allow her to stay in her home thanks to Chapter. Guys, if Chapter can do it for these people, then it's very likely that Chapter can do it for you. And, you know, it doesn't cost you anything to give them a call. In fact, if you're 65 years old or older, give our friends over at Chapter a call right now. Phone number is 909-563-8279. And it's a totally free call. See how much money they can save you on your Medicare. Oh, better yet, hit them up on their website at askchapter.org/Ron. I've left a link for you in the description down below. Hey, there's money waiting for you. Just go get it. So guys, now we need to talk about this obvious question. We need to talk about, how did this actually happen, guys? How could Iranian-linked operatives even enter the United States? I mean, look no further than America's wide open southern border under the previous administration. For count them, 4 long years, President Biden turned national security into some kind of a political game. ICE was muzzled, Border Patrol overwhelmed, and the number of people crossing into America from countries labeled as terror threats, they're shattering records, guys. And guys, we're not just talking about desperate families. We're talking about military-aged men from nations like Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, right? Slipping through undetected. You guys have heard this before, right? No IDs, no background checks, just a clean pass into the interior of the country. And when agents tried to flag it, they were ignored, or worse, they were silenced. And so now here we are, middle of June, and President Donald J. Trump is back in office. He's ramping up border security again, launching intel sweeps. He's cleaning up the chaos. But let's be honest, guys, some threats may already be embedded. It may be in your own neighborhood, for all you know. And if you think about this, if you think that this happens to sound rather dramatic, I want you to ask yourself this. Where were the Israeli forces on October 7th? Right? Did they expect that terror would come from within? Because that's exactly what happened. And we would be fools to think that we're immune. So what was Gavin Newsom doing during all of this? Well, he was focused on basically everything but what he was supposed to be focused on. Let me ask you this. Was Gavin Newsom focused on national security? Was he focused on demanding intel briefings? Was he sounding the alarm about terror groups inside the U.S.? No, he wasn't. Gavin Newsom was on TV blaming you. He was blaming American citizens. He was blaming drivers. That's right, guys. So while Iran was preparing terror cells, Gavin Newsom was over here telling the world that your gas-powered car was the real danger. So, of course, we're going to hear exactly what Gavin Newsom said during the worst wildfire season in California history, and how he used that very moment of crisis not to lead, not to protect, but to scapegoat you and push the most radical vehicle ban in American history, guys. Now, trust me, you won't believe what this guy said. So while national security was unraveling, while Iran was funding terror networks and slipping agents across the southern border, Gavin Newsom, he found his enemy, and it was you. It was not Hamas, Hezbollah. It wasn't Hezbollah. It was not the Houthis. It was not Tehran. You, the average American, the people just trying to get to work. In 2020, guys, during the worst wildfire season in California's history, as homes were burning, you guys remember this, right? Firefighters out here risking their lives, families being evacuated. Gavin Newsom stood before the cameras and delivered one of the most tone-deaf, shameless, and frankly, delusional messages in modern political history. He blamed climate change, and then he blamed you, for driving a gas-powered vehicle. Anybody drive a gas-powered vehicle here? Because according to Gavin Newsom, all of this is your fault. I'm not kidding, guys. It's your tailpipes. He said it's about our tailpipes, guys. He said it's our emissions. Wildfires are tearing through forests while thousands are losing everything. Gavin Newsom looked America in the eye and said, "You're the reason this is happening." And then right there in the middle of a disaster, he unilaterally announced California would ban gas-powered vehicles by 2035. No public vote, no legislative process, no debate, just a dictate shoved down the throats of 40 million Californians during a state of emergency. Now, I want to ask you guys, show of hands, will you succumb to Gavin Newsom and buy an electric vehicle? Will you buy an EV, or do you prefer to drive a gas-powered car? Let me know, guys. I'm going to be looking through the comments. Now, folks, this is not leadership. This is exploitation. Now, Gavin Newsom looks at Trump and calls him a dictator. But what we just witnessed here was Gavin Newsom essentially being a Gestapo and issuing a direct order forcing you to buy an EV after 2035. Now, this is using crisis to grab power, is it not? Guys, this ain't leadership. This is exploitation. This is blaming the very people who he's supposed to protect. Oh, and it gets worse, because Gavin Newsom's vehicle ban wasn't just about California. It was about clean energy. Actually, no, it wasn't even about clean energy when you think about it. It wasn't even about saving the planet. What it really was about control. It was about national influence. You see, guys, thanks to outdated EPA loopholes and regulatory games, California's radical climate policies, they had the power to influence the entire country. 12 other blue states were lined up just to follow California's lead with the identical bans, which meant Gavin Newsom, a single governor, was about to dictate what kind of car you could drive in Florida, in Texas, in Pennsylvania. Think about that. Why should Gavin Newsom have the power to dictate what kind of car you get to drive in any other state outside of California? Does that make any sense to anybody? Now, all because the federal government gave him that power under Biden. So let's take a second. And I'm trying not to get too emotional here. Let's take a second and try to review the facts here, shall we? So Newsom couldn't stop the fires. Newsom couldn't fix the grid. He couldn't secure his forests, but he could ban your Ford F-150 because of carbon guilt. Somebody, please make it make sense for me. And while he was banning gas cars, what was Iran doing? Building proxies, infiltrating borders, studying weaknesses, preparing asymmetric warfare. And the American government, under Biden, they were cheering Newsom on. When President Trump returned to office, that entire house of cards came crashing down. One of the first major moves of 2025, terminate California's EV mandate permanently. But not only that, guys, President Trump signed, count them, 3 congressional resolutions to kill it nationwide. And this time it is irreversible. No judicial review, no revival clause whatsoever. So that's not just a win for the auto industry. That is a win for freedom, for working class Americans, and let's be honest, guys, for national security. But do not be fooled. Gavin Newsom's agenda is not gone. It's not gone. I mean, he's still out here pointing fingers. And guess what? The people that he's protecting are not even you. And the real threats, they're still out there. So, of course, I'm going to show you guys how this entire blame campaign was a smokescreen. While Gavin Newsom was canceling combustion engines, Iran was preparing something more explosive, much more explosive. And the people in charge, well, let's just say that they ignored the real threat and they opened the door to something much darker. So stick with me, guys, because you're going to want to hear this. So let's talk about what may be the most dangerous failure of modern leadership. Now, it's not just that Gavin Newsom blamed you for the wildfires. It's that he did it while something far more deadly was building in the shadows. Now, picture this, okay? Iranian proxies are expanding, sleeper cells potentially embedded inside of our cities. Intelligence showing asymmetric warfare strategies being deployed, from cyber sabotage to coordinated domestic terror operations. And what were our so-called leaders doing during all of this? Oh, well, they were busy hosting climate summits, shaming Americans over driving pickup trucks, trying to outlaw gasoline. I mean, seriously, guys, Iran was out here testing Israel's defenses, watching how the West reacts, calculating how far they can push without triggering a full-scale military response. They were preparing to strike through proxies, not planes, no flags, no uniforms, just chaos. Hit critical infrastructure, spark panic, undermine public trust. Meanwhile, in Sacramento, Newsom's out here signing executive orders about zero emissions by 2035 and giving countless speeches blaming traffic congestion for climate collapse. Can you even make this up? This is what happens when people are so obsessed with political optics. They can't even see what's coming straight at them. And even worse than that, they don't even care. Gavin Newsom didn't stop to ask, hey, are we safe? Are there foreign actors taking advantage of our open borders? Hell, do we have sleeper cells inside of this country? Nope. Instead, Gavin Newsom looked at the camera and he blamed citizens for a firestorm that his own policies helped to worsen. But let's be clear, guys, the wildfires in California were not caused by SUVs. Do you think that they really were? I mean, they were caused by decades of poor forest management, corrupt utility companies, and a refusal to conduct controlled burns. Let's not even forget, there are some arsons out here running around too. But environmental extremists like Gavin Newsom needed a villain. And it couldn't be Procter & Gamble. It couldn't be PG&E. It couldn't be the state. So they picked the easier target, you. That's right. The middle class commuter, the diesel truck driver that delivers to Walmart, to the mom and pop stores, that deliver, your Amazon packages to your doorstep, right? The person who dares to live outside of a major city. So if you live in a rural part of town, you're the blame, according to Gavin Newsom. That blame game wasn't about science. It was about shame. It was about power. And if they if they can make you feel like the villain, then they can control your behavior. You see, they can tell you what to drive, what to eat. They want you to eat bugs. They want to control how you heat your home. They want to yank the gas-powered stoves and your gas-powered water heater out your home and make you buy electric stoves and electric gas heaters. Meanwhile, foreign actors like Iran, they're watching this whole internal division like hawks. They're laughing, they're plotting, they're moving. Because while Gavin Newsom and the climate cult were wagging their freaking fingers at the American public, Iran was out here gaming us, and they're gaming out how to take us down from the inside. And nobody stopped them. No one even noticed. Guys, the truth is this. While we were distracted by green virtue signaling and fake climate saviors, the door was left wide open for real enemies to walk right in. We didn't need a war to be attacked. We didn't need weak leaders. We got them. But this isn't just about California anymore. Now, of course, we need to take a good look at how deep this problem goes nationwide and why this blame and distract strategy could be putting your city at risk right now. Oh, and of course, I'm going to go ahead and break down exactly what President Trump is doing about it as we speak and why it may already be too late to stop what is coming. Now, stick with me, guys, because you do not want to miss this. Get this. You may be watching this, right? Thinking to yourself, yeah, that's California. That's California for you, right? But you might even say to yourself, that's Gavin Newsom. What do you expect, right? Anybody thinking that? Anybody saying that to themselves? But if that's where your thoughts stop, then you're kind of almost missing the bigger picture. All right. Because this isn't just a California problem anymore. This is a coast to coast crisis. Let me go and break this down for you guys. Iran's strategy doesn't require invading armies. It doesn't require aircraft carriers or massive tanks. All it requires is chaos and distraction. And Newsom and his fellow elites gave them exactly that. While he was blaming drivers for wildfires, while leftist governors were passing copycat bans on gas-powered vehicles, Iran was watching, mapping U.S. infrastructure, studying American cities, ports, bridges, railways, looking for cracks we refuse to see. And you know that terrifying part that no one wants to talk about? Sleeper cells don't need to break in. They just need to be activated. And they're already here, guys. That's right. That's the reality that nobody wants to admit. The sleeper cells may already be in your neighborhood. Sleeper cells may be at your local mall, maybe at a major port. They don't wave a flag. They don't wear uniforms. But when the signal comes, they're ready to act. And all of this, this was allowed to fester because people like Gavin Newsom were just way too busy blaming climate, cars, carbon. Look in the comments, guys. You see what people are saying to pay attention to the actual threat walking through the door. Now, thankfully, there's a new sheriff back in town. President Donald J. Trump is back in office, and he's already taken some aggressive steps to stop what the Biden administration allowed to spread like wildfire. Here's what's already happening on June 2025, as of this month. So the EV mandate regime, it's dead, permanently shut down by executive and congressional action. No revival, no judicial review. Homeland Security, it's on overdrive, guys. Homeland Security is on overdrive. Clearly, new counterintelligence units are scanning for threats inside every major metro area. Guys, ICE, they're fully reactivated with new authority to pursue terror-linked individuals and sleeper cell suspects. Border security is no longer optional. The wall's expansion, it's back underway. Military resources have already been redeployed. I mean, you've already heard that the Marines were deployed to California just a couple days ago. And just last week, Trump's national security team ordered full spectrum intelligence sweeps on suspected Iranian proxy operatives operating within U.S. borders on U.S. soil here. But let's not pretend that this is over. Trump didn't inherit a blank slate. He inherited a powder keg. And the people who lit the fuse, well, they're the same ones who blamed you for the smoke. They made you feel guilty for driving to work so you can feed your family. Meanwhile, they let the terrorist networks drive straight into this country unchecked. And that's what makes this next part so disturbing when you think about it. So in just a minute, I want to go ahead and lay it all bare for you guys. Who really gets blamed? Who actually gets protected? And why these elite politicians would rather point the finger at you rather than confront the enemies who hate us. You need to hear the ending, guys, because it really explains everything. So let's go ahead and ask the question that nobody in legacy media is willing to touch, shall we? Who are they really protecting? Because it sure as hell isn't you. It's not me. It's not the citizens who follow the law, who pay the taxes, who keep this country running. It's not the people who paid into Social Security. It's not the people who build the homes, drive the trucks, or serve their communities. It's not the people who love America. No, those people get blamed. We get blamed for the fires, for the floods, for the climate change, for systemic problems created by the very elites who now act like they're saving the world. Gavin Newsom didn't take responsibility for the fires. He didn't fix forest mismanagement. He didn't hold utility companies accountable. He didn't strengthen the border when it really mattered the most. Instead, he blamed you. He blamed me for driving a gas-powered car. Anybody drive a gas-powered car anymore? Meanwhile, you got foreign actors like Iran. They're quietly building attack plans while real enemies were moving into position. Newsom and his allies were pushing radical climate policies, silencing dissent, and expanding government control, all while pretending that they're the heroes. Is Gavin Newsom really a hero? Guys, that's not leadership. That's not heroism. That's not accountability. That is not how you protect a nation. Yet he wants to run for president in 2028. Guys, the truth is that's how you destabilize a nation. And it's happening by design. So I want you to remember this moment. The next time they tell you that your pickup truck is the problem, the next time that they tell you that you can't grill meat or heat your home or drive more than 30 miles a day because they want you to stay in 5-minute cities, I want you to ask yourself this. Why are they blaming me? while ignoring the people who actually want to destroy this country. Because I think that the truth is rather simple. The more they shame you, the more they protect themselves. And the more distracted you are, the more danger you're in. So don't let them gaslight you. Don't let them guilt you into silence. Don't let them shift the blame while enemies gather at the gates, or even worse, already live inside the walls. America needs clear eyes and strong voices right now. So guys, if you found this video helpful, if you found value in this video, if your gut is telling you something's off, like you got that feeling in your stomach, don't scroll past this. Don't let it vanish in the algorithm. I want you to share this video, send it to a friend, talk about it, comment down below, because this fight isn't just global, it's personal. And if they're still blaming you, it means they're still hiding the truth. Appreciate you guys. Click the link in the description down below. See how much money Chapter can save you on your Medicare. We'll see you next time.